every time I see Joey or hear Joey's voice, I instantly think of Vasu without fail every time.
Good.
All right.
Hello.
We're live. We're possibly waiting on Moat, who hopefully we have because this is his arc. But also maybe everybody is dead, and we'll start our break early. We'll see how it goes, whether he shows up. But in the meantime, we did have some stuff to do to kill time. When we left off last week, you guys had basically wrapped up your business in Storm Cellar. You had set a temporary council to kind of take care of the town, at least until the adventure is over and Gale is able to come back and help figure things out for good. There are a couple of people vying for leadership, but that's more of a long-term problem. In the short term, you've at least started rebuilding. You've started a repopulation festival. There
Is that like a public orgy?
Yeah, kind of.
Huh.
There.
To be clear, I did not start that. You did.
True. That's true.
I just tried to embrace it and failed because I got cock blocked.
Oh no! What happened?
Some fishy asshole was talking to somebody.
Yeah, he was talking because he doesn't get to do it.
Literally did nothing wrong.
I was just talking.
Who was
and
it?
then he left.
Who are they talking to?
Talking to Nordo.
I knew it.
How dare you? How dare I talk?
Speaking of the talk with Nordo, it was revealed when Gale broke into the wax-sealed documents, some shit about Ozymandias in particular. Namely that he had a very personal vendetta against Storm Cellar, and specifically the Queen of Storm Cellar, Gale's mom, who, according to this document anyway, was Ozymandias' daughter that he had with his other daughter, which makes her daughter and her granddaughter in a weird, fucked up dragon way. Yeah, very gross. He also thought it was gross, not because of the weird incest thing, but because there was non-dragon blood involved, which, can't have that. Not when you're an evil race purist. So he has been apparently on a crusade to clean all of the illegitimate children that this daughter has had, including the Queen of Storm Cellar, Gale's mom.
So hold on. So he had a daughter with his daughter, and then that daughter was impure because his daughter was impure?
Correct.
So wait, so he had sex with a non-dragon, had sex with that baby, and then was upset that he had sex with an original not dragon.
No. So he had a daughter. Yeah,
With a dragon.
The daughter. Yeah, the daughter's a pure dragon, but then the daughter banged the kobold guy.
Oh, okay. So, okay, I'm following now.
Anyway, all of this was that was me summarizing 3 pages of lore poorly. The summary here is that the dead queen, Gale's mom, was Ozymandias' daughter, which makes Ozymandias in a roundabout way, or in just, I guess, a direct way, Gale's grandpa. And Nordo and Gale were having a discussion about that in the bathtub that kind of led to... It didn't go where he thought it would go because some other stuff happened along the way. Anyway, this is all a poor summary of last session. Go watch it if you want to know all the details. That's the summary.
Yeah.
Several days passed. Yes.
In character, who knows about this?
I don't think.
I think it's only Nordo.
So wait, you're saying that he didn't tell anyone what was in the sealed document that we all saw?
Aside from Nordo.
We all would have. I mean, I would have made sure I knew what was inside a sealed document.
I would have killed you immediately.
At the very least, Gale took it privately, opened it privately, and has not revealed it to anyone else. If you'd like to ask Gale, now's your chance, now that you're here.
Hey, Gale, what you got? Some real personal secrets there? Ooh, girl, dish. No, I'm just kidding.
Several days have passed. You guys have rested up. You got an allowance sent from Elise because it's the start of a new month. I believe it was 1,000 gold each if you haven't already added it. The plan...
A question. Does she know? Elise at this point knows that Nomad is dead. Did she send something 4 Flurgle? I don't think she'd know Flurgle is a lot, like, exists.
She probably, what she does is just send a lump sum, and then you guys can split it however you want.
That
So,
makes sense.
you know, if the party wants to cut Flurgle in for 1,000 gold, that's their
And that-
prerogative.
Yeah, notably, he hasn't asked for anything, so I can.
I assume that we'll split it with him since he's Flurgle.
I wouldn't know what to use this for.
Anyway, the plan is to take off. It is Sunday morning. If you have any last minute business that you want to do here in town, now's the time to do it. Including poking Gale.
First, I guess do that. So, what was in that note? The sealed document.
God, it's been so long. I need to remind myself what was all in there.
I can pop it back up. Where did it go?
Not a whole hell of a lot, to be honest. It was a lot of just rambling. It wasn't much of a contingency plan, first of all, but it did mention that I should avoid red stillstones because if I get access to them, it could cause all the negative side effects of being a stillborn to start to trigger, which would not be great.
So, you're a stillborn?
Well, yeah, obviously. I got the takes off the eye patch again. Tap on the stillstone eye.
Okay, I guess I'll make an insight check to see if he's hiding anything.
Your minimum's like 500, right?
My minimum is actually 25. It's not as crazy high as everything else.
25 is pretty high.
Yeah, he's not lying to you, but he's obviously like avoiding telling you the full story.
And what else?
That's about it.
Does Gale seem horny right now?
Uh,
There
yes.
has been like a whole orgy in the
Seems
entirety of Storm Cellar forever, and he's getting done. I don't know what he's been doing.
Seems a little blue balled. That's all.
So,
So you just, I mean, there's obviously more, but I guess if you just don't want to tell us, you don't have to. Kind of just looks at you dejected.
Hand you it. There's a warning not to read this for a reason.
Gotcha. I had just closed it, but I thought you weren't going to tell me, so I didn't actually read it. Could you pop it back up, please? Or is it?
you
Should be in the note.
successfully guilt tripped him.
Okay. I'll read this in a second. I have one other thing I want to do that doesn't involve doing it in front of Gale right now.
Sure. This can cut away to another time or another place or whatever. You got several days.
Yeah, I mean, if anyone else to do anything else in this topic before moving on. All right, I'm going to go have a chat with Coraline then.
Sure, it's easy enough. Corlin is with you always at this point, this tiny little familiar that you carry around.
Yeah, and we have a telepathic bond, so.
Yeah, you've got your lay of the land. You could do this wherever you want, on the ship, out front in the storm, lost in the city somewhere.
Yeah, actually, before this, I want to do one other thing.
Sure.
Before I forget. I want to get a permit from the city so that I can open up a print shop. So I can have news here.
Sure, that's...
That sounds important.
Yeah, that's... So, bureaucracy in this town has kind of come to a standstill. However, you basically... The closest thing you can get to a permit at this point is just approval from the temporary council.
Yeah, I just want to have paperwork in the works so that after everything is settled, that I actually am able to set up shop here amongst other places so that I can just have a network of news.
Sure. Leo is happy to vouch for you, at the very least. Yeah, they all kind of spin it as like, yeah, if I become king, I'll allow you. You basically get independent promises from all of these different members of the council that, like, you know, if you support them for the throne, then they're happy to give you permission to spread news in town. Leo's angle is a little.
I will
more
100% say
he's-
that. I will 100% say that this is not going to be a politically driven newspaper. News needs to be separated from bureaucracy.
Sure. Give me an insight check.
25.
Okay, yeah. As you're kind of going to the council and asking for all of this permission, you do get the sense that, like, initially they kind of want to spin things a little bit. You can tell that there's some political drama involved there. Some of them are trying to get angles, especially one of them, the council member from the guard, a high-ranking military officer, is especially interested in not necessarily like spinning propaganda. It's not quite that evil. It's not quite that overt. It's more like he knows he's not a good voice piece and he needs somebody good with words to get his messages out, and he kind of views this as an opportunity for that. Leo is probably the most genuine of them, who is simply like, yeah, I've traveled with you. I can see that you're just trying to get the truth out. I would support this. And eventually everybody's kind of on board for it. Or at least those three.
Cool.
Yeah, again, the city is in shambles. The last thing they're doing is issuing press permits right now. But
Yeah.
they're at least supportive.
I just figured get it in early. That way that I'll be in mind when everything's getting together.
For sure. But yeah, time passes. You're able to find yourself alone with Corlin to have a conversation.
Cool. Corlin, I wanted to talk to you about something.
Well, I'm here. I have nowhere to go. What is it?
Back before, how do I put this? What was it like to create?
Oh. I think the closest thing that you mortals experience is copulation. Imagine that, but over and over and over, with each new spark, each new idea, each new creation, this burst of just ecstatic newness. The joy of finding a new game, hearing a new story, playing a new song, with each new breath that you stuff into some creature. Knowing that you are making an entire life of stories and oddities and bizarrities. It was phenomenal. It was what drove me. It's what gave me purpose.
I'm just going to get an insight on her. I just kind of want to get a good vibe for just not just, like her body language kind of stuff. Just kind of like, was it more than that, or is that like just on the nose type of stuff?
Sure, you can give me an insight check. We'll kind of roll this throughout the rest of the conversation if other things come up.
25 again.
Yeah, it seems genuine enough. There's a bit of a forlornness, like thinking of an old dream that is long gone, and now they're kind of like wistful because they're trapped as a familiar, and all that dream has faded away. But at the same time, very genuine. It does seem to you that Corlin's took tremendous joy in creation, and that tracks to you. It's arguable that what led to Corlin's downfall is that Corlin was more interested in the newness and excitement of constantly creating than actually following through and taking care of those creations.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I kind of figured it was something that you loved since, I think before I ran into you, I may have created something. I don't know. Thought maybe you could give me some insight.
Like what? Like a book?
Well,
a creature?
I'm not sure. Like a spark of life. Nothing on the scale of what you could do, but the forklift before I kind of kamikaze crashed it into the giant robot, I connected with it, and I felt a spark within it.
Um, you have to take a little time to explain this forklift situation to Corlin, because Corlin,
I've shown her the blueprints and
right?
everything.
You've shown the blueprints, you've told the story, but Corlin's not intimately familiar with the forklift.
I'll also just bring her to the forklift and kind of show it, just in case it has any remnants of it
Sure.
left in there. I don't know if it came back or if it's stuck inside that Albert mind.
Well, little thing, that sounds fascinating, but that is not typically something that your kind can do. Even my children, my closest children, the Kuatoa, they were given a spark of something like that, but even they don't create life on the scale that I create life. Whatever it was, I'm sure it was some fancy of magic, some cosmic mistake, some error.
Do you think you could help me make that error again?
No, you've stripped me of all of my power and
No,
stuffed me
not.
into this.
Sorry, my headset cut out.
Oh, sure. No, she responds, no, you stripped me of all of my power and stuffed me into this.
Not like that. Maybe just advise me.
Advise you.
Yeah, I mean, I realized maybe it's not. I don't know. I guess I don't know if there's any consequences even to me doing this, but I just.
Give me a persuasion check.
I think it's just being slow. I'm gonna click it a third time in case none of those first two clicks went through, but we'll see.
Sure, sure.
They apparently did not. Oh no, but I have 14.
14? My child, if I've learned anything about creation, it is that no fun deed goes unpunished by the Killjoy gods. And you travel with a paladin of the Killjoyest god of all the Killjoy gods. Do you want to learn what happens to people who create? Go visit that temple and see what Aedra does to those who dare to use the powers that they've been given. My advice to you, lay low, don't piss off the other gods. Don't create, don't do anything fun. Everything fun ends up punished.
That seems terribly boring. Fuck the gods, right?
Well,
Kind of has a little devilish smirk on his face. Besides, I feel like it's worth it.
what, to create and be punished?
Maybe just this one time. Besides, you help. There's no consequences for you, right?
Oh, I don't know if I can believe that.
Well, I'm charged with protecting you, and that involves from everyone. But obviously, you do not have to help. I'll try regardless.
If I can think of any advice that won't get me slaughtered by your paladin friend, perhaps I'll give you some guidance.
I don't think you would. Besides, it'll be our secret. Well,
Yeah, she kind of like scoffs and just like throws her head to the side for a moment, but she'll at least like, if you, or do you like immediately begin trying to experiment with this, or?
before we leave, I'm going to try something.
Sure. She obviously totes along for it to watch. She doesn't really have any like tips or pointers, but she's watching curiously. What do you do?
I'm going to wait until the dead of night when everyone's asleep.
All right.
I'm going to get my bubble, my little darkness bubble, so it's secretive, and I'm going to go find Toto, and I'm going to try to sympathetically bond with him and see if I can give him a spark of the soul.
Okay, multiple steps to this plan. Let's see. Toto is ever alert. Ever alert. Always on guard, unable to be surprised. He is built to be a sentinel. Gale, how does Toto respond to seeing the ace-shaped ball of darkness kind of sneaking into wherever you guys are overnight?
Boy, that's just a real layered question currently.
Yeah.
You want me to give you a stealth check just to help?
I don't think he would. Gale's not that pissed. He wouldn't have revoked Ace's privileges. So I think he kind of looks up at Ace, but kind of knows what to expect there, and just doesn't really do anything. It's not worth alerting anyone.
All right, you make your way in, you find Toto. Toto, you remain hidden for quite some time, but eventually, he kind of
Yeah,
realizes
I
that you're
realized
there.
Toto's going to see. I don't have to get close to Toto. It's mostly that I don't want anyone else to see me.
For sure. And yeah, go and give me a stealth check. You're almost certainly not going to wake anyone up. I know your bonuses, but let's see it to make it official.
26.
26? Yeah. Yeah, almost certainly not waking anybody up unless they have magical protections or something like that. So you sit down. A little
My
ways.
passive's 27.
Your passive perception while sleeping is 27.
Yep.
What?
No.
You're not playing Trace. Shut up.
I have to say that's
This is my least perceptive character.
I was gonna say.
We have a flat 10.
Woo! I was gonna say, boy, the Trace days came flooding back. I got so excited.
Yeah. Toto has a passive 20 though, so
Yeah, Toto's got a passive 20, and Toto also just straight up can't be surprised, which is super helpful. Not that you're trying to surprise him or anything, but all the same. Anyway, you're able to sneak in. Nobody wakes up, and Toto, noticing you, doesn't sound an alarm or do anything. He seems to be vaguely aware that you're somewhere. You might not even be in his direct line of sight, but he kind of gets the hunch that you're somewhere around. He sees the orb of shadow creep into the room. It's much bigger than you are. So what do you do?
Do I feel like the boon of the silver dragon will help with this?
What does that do? Hang on, I gotta go look it up.
I don't know. You didn't tell me.
Oh, okay. This is right from the blood. Boy, what a good question. Let me go read how this works. Boy, give me an Arcana check. I can't think of any way that Ace would know in character whether or not the boon would help.
Because I used it, and also maybe ask Coraline.
Possibly, yeah. Give me an Arcana check.
I mean this evil god that hates you.
All right. Combining a mixture of asking Coraline your own experiences in the Borderlands, and having kind of experimented with the boon before, the vibe that you get, especially from Coraline, is dragons are very good at sympathetic manipulation, and you suspect that the Silver Dragon's boon is some sort of a benefit to that. Coraline would also kind of create a link for you when understanding that the creation of life, the creation of souls, is very closely to the tide of the accumulation of sympathy, the sympathy towards a thing. With that said, it takes more to bring something to life and to give something a soul than to just look at it and think about it really hard. Typically, there needs to be some sort of either tremendous emotional bond or expression, a little bit of magic, which theoretically the boon is, or you need to be some sort of a creature that is especially adept at creating accumulations of sympathy on the weave, like a dragon or prior to the fall Kuatoa, although they're still pretty good at it even afterwards. In other words, the boon might help, but you get the sense that this is probably a very big task no matter what.
Let me roll something.
Sure.
Okay. I'm going to activate the boon.
All right. Noted. You feel this kind of cold chill run down the veins of your forearms. You can feel a little bit of pressure at your back between your shoulder blades.
And I'm going to try to connect to Toto. I'm just going to just stand there petting him. I'm just going to try to connect with him, and if Corlin has any advice, I'll try to do it. Just kind of think of all the good times we've had together, and just not even just that, just like how important it is to Gale.
Okay. Boy. For shits and giggles, give me a D100. You spend some time close to Toto, assuming that he is cool with all of this, just kind of reminiscing and thinking good thoughts about him and kind of mentally directing your energies towards him. And although it's kind of a refreshing and meditative experience, and although you can feel a certain amount of closeness and fondness, and maybe even some in return from Toto, that's up to Toto, there's never any moment where, like, you feel a spark of magic happening. There's never a moment where you see a glow of sympathetic energy or a strand of light. Nothing like what happened between you and the forklift in the Borderlands.
Let me roll something else again.
Corlin kind of chimes in at some point, like, no, it can't be forced. It has to be natural, but it also has to be bigger. A child playing with their doll, even their favorite doll, doesn't bring it to life. A husband looking at a painting of their dead wife doesn't bring the painting to life. It has to be more. It's a rare and special and miraculous event for mortals. Only the gods can just wave their hand and bring something to life. Not even the dragons can do it that easily.
Yeah, it just looks real sad. It's like, I just really want to do this for Gale.
Well, if I can offer my seasoned opinion as a professional at bringing things to life, if anyone is going to bring Toto to life for real, it will be Gale.
If I did this with him, do you think it would work?
Maybe, perhaps. Although I can't stress enough, neither of you are dragons.
According to this, he's like an 8th dragon.
According to what?
I'm assuming she's probably just reading the document over my shoulder with me.
Oh, well, I mean, fuck me, I guess. I don't know, maybe. I mean, if he wants to take on that burden and probably piss off your paladin friend for meddling in the affairs of gods, and, you know.
Well, I mean, I didn't get in trouble for making my forklift temporarily alive.
Did you? How long did this stay alive?
I mean, it kind of like instantly died because it crashed, but...
Oh. Hell, man, I don't know. For all I know, you might be going to hell for that.
Probably not. I have Nomad. He's probably gonna put in a good word for me. Get us up there, you know?
Yeah, must be nice.
Well, you gotta come with me.
Ooh. That... I don't want to think about that, but alright, whatever. I had considered
Alright.
the possibility of ending up in some other god's domain with my afterlife. What a...
Would you rather just not exist?
Maybe,
I mean...
possibly, man, I don't... This isn't how I thought things were gonna go.
Sometimes you just gotta roll with the punches. It's kind of, you know, I mean, it's what we mortals do all the time, you know?
This has been nothing but disappointment. All of this has been such a mistake. I don't know why I bothered doing anything.
I mean, it's just what you were driven to do, right?
Did I even have a say in the matter? Because as far as I can tell, I was just born of impulse. Who am I to control my own impulses? How dare the gods punish me for the way that they made me?
Preach, sister. But for now, I want to try something. I'm gonna go wake up Gale.
I hate this manipulative bitch. I mean, How do you wake me up?
Just gonna actually be like, hey Toto, can you wake up Gale for me? I assume he's probably the best at waking you up. And if he doesn't, then I'll do it.
See, I assume that Toto just like jumps on the bed and flops on top of Gale, all like 3,000 pounds. Because dogs never know how heavy they are. But maybe not, I don't know.
He's a well-trained dog.
He looks up at you and tucks his tail between his legs and says, "Danger."
Oh no. Okay, well, you live some, you learn some. I'm just gonna walk up, probably just be in my orb of darkness, and I'm gonna crouch next to the bed, and I'm just gonna like stick my beak above, and be like, Gale, wake up! I have to talk to you. That way, if he tries to shoot at me, I have some cover.
Okay, he pulls his gun out from under the pillow and fires in your direction.
I'm behind cover, and I'm invisible, so.
Alright, I think with a -5, do either of those hit? 20, 17, and 15?
The 17 will hit, but I'm just gonna like have my little wings come out and protect me.
Alright. Gale, you are woken up very suddenly by this familiar voice. And then, yeah,
Hold on.
2 shots
Hold
ring
on.
out through the palace. Several guards, you can hear them coming down the hall.
Gale, it's me. I just needed to
What?
talk.
Jesus.
He still just has a speech.
At least if you're gonna do that, don't do it in the dark. Where's the light?
If there was light, you would have shot me.
Yeah, you would have deserved it. It's 2 a.m.
Underground. Morning doesn't even mean anything down here.
Sleep does.
The door kind of swings open, and a couple of these big fucking kobold guards like step in, weapons at the ready, looking around.
It's okay. Fine.
Is everything all right?
Yeah.
I'm an assassin here to kill the king. No.
So there's an obnoxious process where they won't leave you alone until they've got you alone and made sure that you're not being compelled to tell them to leave. But once they like walk you out into the hall and make sure that you're not being coerced into saying that everything is okay, they let you back in to go back to bed, and they stand at post outside of your door for another hour or two.
Excellent.
But you're eventually able to get back in there.
Can I help you? Did you have a bad dream or something?
No, I want to have you help me. Help you? Help me?
With what?
I don't know if it'll work, but I want to try. Remember my forklift
Yeah.
and how, like, right before it exploded, I felt like some life in it.
No.
Are you being sarcastic?
He wasn't
No,
there
I
for
was literally outside.
I think he
Yeah,
talked
Neil.
about it, and also didn't Adra bring it up? I think Ace like talked to Adra about it.
It's been mentioned. He definitely wasn't there to see it, though.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, I wanted to try that with Toto, but you have the strongest bonds of sympathy, and well, you're also part dragon, which apparently is like an important thing.
So you read it?
Yeah. Did you want to talk about it?
No. Definitely not.
He seemed like he actually doesn't want to talk about it.
Yes. Seems like not surprised, but still like mildly irritated. Like he was really hoping that you would just not.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to bring it up, but it might help with... I don't know how close Toto is to you. And there's a chance that you might be able to give him actual life.
Are you saying that he's not alive?
He is, but you could give him an actual like soul and free will, and I don't know, just
More than 10 words.
thought that you might like that. I don't know. I'm not. I may have tried and wasn't. I'm just my bonds of sympathy aren't as strong as yours are with him. So I
Wait, you snuck into my room to do stuff to my dog?
yeah, I thought it'd be like a nice surprise or something. I know that you've been it's been a lot recently, and he's really important to you.
It's like how you're never supposed to get somebody a pet as a gift, but he got you an entire living, thinking, sentient
Yeah.
creature.
He got me a soul. Uh, yeah, he just gives this like frustrated but understanding kind of sigh. All right, well, thank you. What did did this? First of all, did this really have to happen at 2 a.m?
Well, at first I was just hoping that I wouldn't say anything, and then you just wake up and sort of be like, "Hello, Gail. Good morning," and you'd be like, "Wow, that's awesome. Look how cool it is. He's like talking for real." And then you'd be like, "That's mysterious."
Like the last time that you used a new ability and got my dog to talk to me?
Okay, I didn't know that would happen. I said I was sorry.
Yeah, and I'm still gonna bring it up every time.
I deserve
All
that.
right, let's. All right, what do you need me to do?
Good question. Give you a second. Telepathically connects with Corlin. So, like, okay. I don't know, actually. Like, it's kind of vague. It's like intentional, but like not intentional. I don't know. Maybe we can just like touch. I don't know, touch him and then think of how much we love him and think about our bonds of sympathy. I'm not really sure. There's not really like a handbook to it. You're, I don't know, like a scientist. I realize this is kind of not really a traversed realm by mortals. There's also a chance we might get in trouble for doing this, but like, whatever, you know?
In trouble with who?
Gods for being like, but then again, nah, I think we're fine.
No,
Well,
in trouble with who?
Adra, I guess. At least that's what Corlin was saying, but like, I take everything she says with a grain of salt. And I look at her like, no offense.
So, the god that got punished for creating things.
Advised me not
Is-
to do this because she said it's a bad idea and blah 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 blah.
Yeah, because she
But
did
she
it.
also
and
thought
got
a great,
punished for millennia.
not for creating. She got in trouble for ripping life back out of her creations. And I'm just doing
Right.
it the one thing. I'm not creating a whole race. And if it's just, if
Right.
if I had to give up a little bit for Toto, that's fine.
All right, I'll go over and I'll touch Toto.
All right, you go over and you touch Toto, and he leans into it like you're giving him pets, and he seems affectionate.
I'll go over too, and I'm gonna take, I guess, Gail's hand to kind of like, I don't know, combine our energies or something.
You have a, what is the pottery scene? Is that Ghost?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a
You
little,
start ghosting.
you have a little ghost scene. Patrick
I'm going
Swayze
ghost.
This is so deeply unscientific. It's like the antithesis of everything Gale stands for and like idealizes.
And
Are you getting at least a little turned on?
about, like, I don't even know if you make it 3 minutes into this process or so. It's
Yeah.
nice to spend time with Toto. It's nice to touch and pet Toto. You even kind of focus on some warm and fuzzy thoughts and focus on the happiness and the joy that you bring each other. You think about the time that he did speak to you briefly in the security tower as it was traveling down the river and over the waterfall, supercharged by all of those battery crystals. And you really just like try to channel as much of your energy and your chi and your will and your sympathy into sparking a life into Toto as you can. And then it hits you that it's like 2 in the morning, that Ace doesn't actually know how this works, that you've been told by a god not to do it, that another god who was punished for doing this has told you not to do it.
Wait, a different god didn't tell us not to do this, did they?
I guess Adra hasn't directly told you not to do this yet.
It's just like a little
Wait,
against
did
her
you-
tenets.
Is it?
I don't know, ask Mo.
I mean, like when I brought it up to her before, she's just like, "Yeah, it's pretty cool, isn't it?"
Yeah, I don't think she mentioned anything about it, actually, now that I...
And I asked her
This
questions
is
about it,
what-
she just talked about it very matter of factly.
Anyway, all of this boils down to nothing happens. It might be a pleasant time, it might be an unpleasant time, but there is no sudden spark. There is no experiment, or no experience, no phenomenon like what happened in the Borderlands with the forklift. It just doesn't happen. Nothing happens, and eventually it sinks in like, oh my god, it's almost 3 in the morning and I haven't slept and I just shot my gun.
I'm gonna have to file a report for that.
Ace is like super
All right.
focused on this. Like he's like really trying to focus on this.
There is a point when it seems that Ace is determined, where Corlin kind of chimes in and says, I am not 100% sure how this works for you, children, but I've heard that sometimes it happens if there's like, a death. Maybe you need to sacrifice something. Gale might need to kill himself, or something along those lines.
That seems a bit extreme. Obviously, also
Well-
Gale cannot hear this, and I do not translate that.
And I can't hear any of this. This wasn't out loud.
She can't speak. She's a familiar.
Yeah, it's just telepathy.
God, I hate her so much. Yeah, Gail's approaching us with all the enthusiasm of like a deep skeptic going into like a crystal shop and
Yeah.
listening to the spiel.
Being woken up at 2 in the morning to do that.
Yeah, it's like,
All right.
and then
well,
once we hit 3 in the morning, it's like, all right. Well, I think it worked.
it obviously did, but
It's okay.
he looks extremely dejected. He looks kind of just extremely upset. Like he looks very down about this not working.
I appreciate the thought. But, maybe it's for the best since, I'd rather not have the wrath of the gods coming down on me. Had that once before, wasn't great.
You don't really think the gods would have a wrath against this? I mean, Major Diddley didn't seem to care, and I brought it up there before. But yeah, sorry to waste your time and wake you up.
All right.
And then Ace will like just make his way out of the room, I guess.
Yeah. There is almost a shared sense of like coldness and dejectment and disappointment from Corlin the whole time, but in more of like a scornful "I told you so" kind of way than a sympathetic like. There's just like Corlin will occasionally chime in with a comment like, well, I mean, probably wasn't meant to be, right? Your kind was not really given that kind of power. Who knows what you'd do with it?
I just finally thought it was special.
Oh, give me a persuasion check.
In the meantime, I'm gonna wait until about 4 in the morning, probably.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh man. Us.
Before we jump over to Vasi real quick, Corlin does kind of say, well, now, I made you, so You're at least a little special.
Kind of just has a little smile as he looks up at her.
That is the absolute extent of support that Corlin is able to muster in this situation. And eventually kind of sulks off back with you to bed. Vasu, what's up? You wait till 4 in the morning and then what?
Yeah, then I'm gonna pound on Gail's door. Be like, I need your help activating the masturbatory chakras of my stillstone.
Oh no.
Gosh.
That dumb little joke was all I had. Carry on.
Okay.
No,
that's fair.
no, we're
Oh, we're doing it?
we're rolling with this. Um,
You had just gotten back into REM.
yeah. I get up and God damn it. I'm so upset. The door swings open and a massive spectral hand comes flying out of the door. I assume an 18 Mrs. Vasu because you have
Oh, yeah.
300 AC.
Yeah, just like casually sidestep. Can I come in then?
For what?
I don't know. I didn't. I didn't have any follow up for this. I didn't expect us to follow up on it at all. But then you opened the door and tried to hit me with your big beast.
You woke me up to jerk off with your crystals. There is literally a festival for this. It's still going on.
It's ongoing.
You could have talked to anyone else.
Well, maybe I didn't want to masturbate with just anybody. Vasu runs back to his room crying.
Like the anime runaway crying.
The sparkly tears trailing behind him.
Gail goes over, picks up the bottle of wine, of mushroom wine that he was going to take over to Nordo's, takes it, and goes into Vasu's room.
Oh boy.
It's like, all right, let's do this.
Well drunk.
Don't look at me while
Don't
I do
look
it,
at
though.
me.
No eye contact.
This is canon now.
Yeah.
Excellent.
This is the most awkward thing.
Boy.
Maybe their bond will grow.
Extremely unpleasant.
Do the
Toto
crystals
stands guard.
glow? Outside.
Yeah, outside. Just sits by the door, does not let anyone approach, no matter who they are.
Danger.
Anyway, the
In
night
the morning.
the night
6 a.m.
passes. You guys wake up on Sunday morning with all the benefits of a long rest. Gale probably wakes up a few hours later than everyone else, but he's the prince. He's allowed to.
I'd like a proper time when most people would be awake. I think Flurgle goes over to like Ace's room and knocks on it. The door.
He answers. His little hat is in, you know those like pajama hats with the little ball.
Stop
He like
that.
yeah, he like walks over and he tugs on it and it turns back into his little ace cap. Morning. He's wearing a you know in How I Met Your Mother how Barney has like a suit that's pajamas. He just has like his same outfit that's also just pajamas. His little investigative vest and everything.
Perfect.
Oh, you're a wizard. He just notices the hat changing.
It was a gift from Bromad. You can't say his real name because then he'll know.
Isn't that the point?
Nomad.
I just wanted to check up on you.
How are you doing, Flurgle Gurgle?
Largle is fine. Um, I'm okay. It feels weird still.
I assume that there's just speaking in Kuatoa. I took this language, we better be using it.
You speak my okay. And he goes to gurgles out. Oh,
God.
Hey, what are you guys talking about over here?
Use the big doo doo this time.
Wasu.
I tried to do gurgle noises with a New York accent. I don't think you can.
That's okay. I know that you didn't mean to, but that was actually a extremely offensive but funny thing you just said.
Wow.
I understand and speak all spoken languages.
Oh,
I don't think you speak all languages. You can just be understood.
I think, yeah.
you can speak it as well, yeah. I mean, yeah, you could be understood.
Uh,
Does that mean if he waggles his tongue a lot, but
he has to. I think he
doesn't-
has to use a language.
Okay, he has to.
Otherwise,
speak
he'd be. Otherwise, he
languages.
couldn't do charades. 'Cause that'd be kind of sad.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Flurgle. Have you ever
Mhm.
like created a god? You know how like
Um,
you can like worship something and it just becomes a god.
I did. You killed it.
Oh yeah. Hold on, I'm getting campaigns mixed up. It was what was it?
I'm still sorry about it. Like, you know, there
No,
was
no,
some,
I like legitimately cannot remember it because we also did like the exact same thing in the other campaign.
it was like a big shark thing.
Huh.
That's what it was. Like, it was like a big tornado of fucking water, and there's like a big fishy thing in the middle that
Yeah.
was
I'm trying to go
eating
find
things.
its name. But yes, yeah.
Was that like fun?
Sure.
Fun? We don't do it for fun.
And why do you do it?
How to put this into words?
You can put it into contemporary dance if you want.
Okay. He puts on some tap dancing shoes. So 37 on the dance while explaining.
I understand it very well.
Kuatoa, we are aimless. We don't have. I can't say we don't really. We can't think ahead. No foresight, right? We want to do something, and it's what we do. We don't have guidance. We feel alone, and we want something to follow. We want structure. We don't want to just keep going every which direction and having nothing to look forward to, right? So we make gods. We try to make as many or the right one for us.
Gotcha. So like, sorry, my cat's attacking me. Ah! How do you
You okay?
how do you do that? Like I know that you guys like obviously like worship it, but like you make a connection, right? I'm actually like part Kuatoa on my father's side,
Hmm.
and part Kobold on my father's side.
He like squints.
That's why I'm so short.
I guess that's a possible thing.
Yeah, we're all like we are in the same egg group.
Is you are my brother. Uh, I can't explain how, right? Before whatever the god before what they did, we could create. All of us was capable of creating things like that because we had this god's power inside us. And then when that god started taking it back, we were the last, and it were stopped before they could take all of it. So a bit of that spark to make creation is still with us. Incomplete, not perfect.
Is that where your magic comes from? You just like create lots of bombs? Is like the same thing?
It's from there, yeah. Believe in something and make connections long enough, it becomes real. At least for a small amount of time. We cannot create things for real. I cannot make things alive.
Okay. Consistency. Consistency is important.
What are you trying to do?
Something. I'm a horrible liar, so I can't say nothing. It's just something. Or nothing. Maybe both?
I can't help you if I don't know what you're trying to do.
Well, and explain. I'm not going to walk everyone back through that.
You want to give something a soul.
Yeah.
He thinks about it. When we make a god, we needed all of us, all praising, all on the same page.
So maybe if I got all of us.
But also, we had to make
What if
sacrifices.
I think I have an idea.
What?
It's actually not a good idea, but it's a great idea.
We also had to make sacrifices.
Oh, well, that part's not really cool.
Sure did. All those dead children, remember?
Yes.
I mean, I didn't make a sacrifice. Did I make a sacrifice? I mean, I sacrificed the forklift to give it life. That doesn't make any sense. It didn't have life to give itself.
Sometimes it is the intent that makes the strongest bond.
Okay, that makes my idea really evil then, so maybe not.
You have to follow through. Like you not pull back immediately. That doesn't mean anything.
I just figured, what if I skywrote that? What if I skywrote that he was real, and I convinced a whole city of people that he was real? Would that make him real? Or that he has a soul?
I don't think so because that's you have cults everywhere and they believe in some things that are not true and lots of times that thing still remains untrue.
That's true. Oh well. Well, thanks for the information.
I'm happy to help.
All right. With all of that, do you guys, unless you have any last second business, begin to pack up the airship so that you can make your trek south towards Bromrose?
Yeah, I talked to Vasu about crystals.
Excellent.
Like
Mostly like
middle-aged white women crystals, or like
just like he comes from the place where crystals are very prevalent. I'm sure he knows a lot about crystals. Like, what's my birthstone? Is it lucky to carry my birthstone?
No, it's actually a curse.
Okay. So
You
not
shouldn't.
carry
You shouldn't
birthstone.
do that.
What should I carry?
You should carry every other birthstone.
All 46?
Yeah.
It's a lot of it's a lot of gems.
Ace, what's up?
it looks like Moat is going to stay in bed.
Okay, that is totally fine. We'll get as far as we can, just so we're making some progress, but we'll probably wrap up early then.
Yeah, we're shopping.
Going to bed sounds great right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Everyone sounds tired.
No, we
Uh,
have to all hang out and RP the entire 4 hours.
I'm gonna RP, but it's gonna be in this sick Jace voice and not Vasu voice. Hope you're all okay with that.
Yeah.
Perfect. So let's figure this out real quick.
God, I just used my real name on the internet.
You
I
did.
did.
And then you told everyone it was your real name.
Fuck.
All right. What do you
Hey,
guys think?
hey, Twitch chat.
His name is Jason.
Forget
okay?
I
It's
ever
Jason.
said that. I never said anything.
Let's see.
Straight across the middle, dangerous because you're going over the sea, but it's also the route that you took there here, and it is the quickest. Going to the right would take you past Eisenmar. It's definitely going to be your safest option, but it also will be the longest one. Going to the left would be a little bit shorter, and it would take you kind of past Yule's hometown, quiet, idyllic farming countryside, but also slightly more dangerous seas, especially because it goes over towards Korax, which is basically dragon territory at the moment.
Where's that one island full of vampires? It's like over here, right?
yeah, pretty much right where you clicked. It's this town right here. Is the island full of vampires that you guys
Are we
moved on.
ever going to go back to that island?
No, fuck it.
Why would you?
Yeah.
I just want to go see some vampires. It was also okay. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Should we go to Eisenmar? Didn't we hear that some weird shit is going to happen there?
Yeah, but we gotta deal with most stuff first.
It's also worth
Yeah.
mentioning that if you were
It's
actually
on the
going,
way, right?
well, not quite.
No,
If you were
it's-
going all the way up to Eisenmar City, you'd have to go like that.
Oh, probably not.
When Nomad left us, did he like take his teleportation helm with him?
Oh, he left it with you.
Could we just teleport there instead?
Yeah.
Definitely an
Okay.
option. You'd have to leave the ship behind, but that is 100%
Which-
an option.
Which ship is this?
All of them.
Tornado.
It was like one of them can go back into a bottle.
That's true. Flick has his ship in a bottle, so that could come. But the tornado would have to stay. And the
Where's our other ship? Don't we have another ship?
the Nautiloid is in no condition to be flying right now anyway, and the
I
Sundowner
think
Rex
it's
is out
yeah,
of commission because you let.
Okay,
the-
so the
elemental
tornado is the one that has the door that leads to the
correct.
like.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I
unless
think
you're
the Nautiloid is remaining in Storm Cellar for now, right? To be repaired
probably
and stuff.
Oh, actually, before we leave Storm Cellar, I'm going to grab Uno and I'm going to bring her to the corpse of that undead dragon down in the underground to see if she can give us any information, possibly on Ozzy.
the undead dragon in the underground.
We found a corpse of an undead dragon.
I don't know
I
how
think
we
it
could tell
was-
it was undead. It was just dead.
We could tell it was undead. That's all I know.
It smelled of necromantic energy.
I think it was right after the room with all the orbs.
Oh, right down in the laboratory. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. You can do that while you're down there. Yeah, you bring her down there and you show her that. And she pulls up all of the drawings that she's done for you. And she just repeatedly taps the symbol of Ozymandias that she has drawn for you several times.
Can we use this against him somehow?
She shrugs.
Like, I assume that if he's a disembodied soul of an undead thing, his dead body might be useful.
She draws a series of pictures where she draws this like ghostly face of Ozymandias that's clearly like incorporeal, like a spirit or a soul, and then this like dead corpse, and then she like draws an arrow of the soul going into the corpse, and then she draws an arrow like, oh, the corpse came to life and now it's moving around and mauling everybody to death.
So is it better to destroy it then?
She gives a thumbs up, yeah.
I think Moat can use it if it's a part of Ozymandias. Remember? It
Mm,
does that thing.
Yeah. I guess we'll take a part of it, and then, I mean, she probably knows one of the best ways to... I guess we can also just, if Moat has ceremony prepared, which I doubt he does, but we can consecrate it, I guess, and destroy it. Does she seem like she's lying? I guess I should check to make sure she's not like being
Sure.
like, oh
Give me an
yeah.
insight check. She seems like she's being sincere. She seems like she is scared, as she seems to be almost every time that Ozymandias is discussed. And with a natural 20 for 35, she also draws another series of pictures, and you're able to decipher them especially well. The implication that she seems to be making is Ozymandias is trying to make a body to stuff his soul into as part of this ritual. This doesn't actually belong to him yet. This is not his body. He's building a body to use later on in the ritual. Also, she suggests this is a failed experiment. This is a tiny little runt. The real one is probably somewhere else and probably much bigger.
Does she possibly know where those orbs might have been taking all the documents to?
She draws a series of pictures that you're able to interpret roughly as wherever his lair is, which is probably somewhere in the Borderlands, like on the Weave, on the Crosswinds, trapped within the Crosswinds.
And that's not the astral plane, is it?
Correct. She would draw kind of a weird little diagram that shows your planet surrounded by these weird crosswinds that are on like a weird extra layer, like almost like the ethereal plane, but an outer ethereal plane. And then the astral sea is beyond that, and these crosswinds kind of act as a gate or a filter that prevents things from moving in and out from the astral sea.
Okay.
But yeah, she's able to kind of like look over all that and try to help you make heads or tails of it. Jumping back out to the
Actually,
airship.
could we take this body and study it to see if we can find it to have a weakness that is innate to the type of body he would be making?
That is legit. You guys can definitely take it with you if you want. It's a little big, but you guys have taken bigger
Yeah.
corpses.
We can
with
also
you.
take just part of it. I don't think we need the whole thing.
For sure. Yeah, it'll take a little bit of like downtime and study if you want to actually like try to study it and learn its weaknesses. But that is a good course of action. You can definitely do it.
And we have like a whole flight to do that. So
For sure. Speaking of which, how long is that flight? Which way do you guys want to go?
just go straight, right?
Yeah.
All right.
We went straight last time, so.
Cool. So that storm.
I guess it was straight because you guys didn't make eye contact, right?
Did the balls touch? Did anyone moan?
Did anyone arch their back?
That's up to us.
One,
Sorry, what?
2, 3, 4. We're trying to figure out if you guys did any gay shit. 5, 6, 7. All right. Because you guys have already kind of cleared everything on that path, outside of a few flying shark attack, and other various sea and air beasties on your travels that you guys are now way strong enough to deal with. It takes about a week for you guys to get to mainland Willinquet, and specifically, after 1 week, you are pretty much directly over Belmoral, the capital of Willinquet. A few of you have been there before, most of you have not. But with another couple days, you continue traveling south.
So it's another long rest.
Yeah, let me go and advance a little bit. You guys are basically going to get 10 total short rests and 2 long rests in there. Or another long rest, rather.
Oh. If so, is it alright if I go do some work?
On the ship, for sure. You guys have basically 10 days of downtime if you want to do work that can be done on the ship.
Oh no, by which I mean, like, can I borrow the helm? Teleport to a town I know? And, I don't know, spread Nomad's name? It's kind of my entire goal. And then just teleport back to the ship later.
That's up to the party.
It puts in the request.
Did you fill out the I-65 form?
It's so weird that you guys have official forms.
We're very organized.
I would be against you using the helm for that, but you are welcome to borrow the rug.
What does rug do?
It's kind of teleport.
Will you be okay without the rug?
Yeah, we'll have the helm. The rug takes longer to activate, which is why if you're just going to a safe town,
Yeah.
you should be fine.
That should be okay then.
Do you need extra pamphlets?
But since the helm is an action thing, it would be good to have that charged just in case
Yeah.
we need it.
How many charges does the carpet have?
I think it's just a once per week.
Yeah, that's helpful. I can teleport myself, so it's quite helpful to have two ways to teleport back. Just in
Well,
case.
here's a fresh box of pamphlets off the
Thank,
press.
thank you very much. I'm not very good at making them.
That's okay. You know, Dad has like a whole like printing press thing. So do we have his printing press?
Oh boy, I think it is still back at the warehouse.
I think you could literally make it in the mirror.
Probably. Oh yeah, yeah.
As long as you're using real paper and ink, though. The printing press itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I guess I'll do some studying on this dragon. Oh, I can use my forklift to carry it around. Perfect.
All right, let's do this. We'll run down here. So Fleur, go first. First of all, what city are you doing this in? And then I guess give me like a charisma religion check to perception.
I think I could. We have 2 weeks of downtime, basically.
You have 10 days, and there will be
Sounds like
one
2
long
weeks.
rest in there.
Yeah, okay. So before the first long rest, what are the biggest cities, I guess? We're heading to Balmoral anyway, right?
You guys are going to be passing near Balmoral, not quite directly over it. With that said, you would not have like a teleportation sigil to there. I think the rug lets you attempt to go there even if you've never been there before.
Cool.
But yeah, Balmoral is as far as you guys know, the biggest city on the continent.
Yeah.
It is the capital of Willinquet, and the seat of power.
Sure. I can start in Balmoral.
All right, so Sunday, just as everybody is leaving Storm Cellar, you're going to use the rug to go to Balmoral?
Mhm.
All right, sick. Is there a roll?
I'm sure there is. I just don't remember what.
There definitely is like a D4 roll. I need to go check. When you teleport, roll a D6. All right, give me a D6. Oh, perfect. Yeah, you arrive basically exactly wherever you desire within Balmoral. Which I assume is just a place of comfort and security, where you are not questioned or immediately attacked on sight.
Yeah, I dress okay. I plop next to find the nearest person who can tell me some information like, "Hey, how do I like without getting attacked spread some pamphlets about a religion that's springing up?"
So,
I don't know. I don't preach, actually, I just spread it.
In Town Guard 101, there is a chapter on if a Kuatoa ever shows up wanting to spread a religion, you kill them on sight. Give me a charisma religion check, just to see. We're going to kind of condense this a bit because we're moving quickly here, but let's see how it goes.
It's real ignorant of them.
Let's see.
Seatol just had this problem and a bunch of kids were killed.
Okay, so it will be this one then instead. I'll roll a performance because it's the same one, religion charisma.
Sure.
31.
Delightful. Do you have expertise in religion?
I do.
Holy shit. Cool.
I told you I am a fucking. I spread religion. I don't actually.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
My entire culture is about like God these things.
It really is astonishing. So when you arrive, there's all this buzz about how this strange stuff has been going on all throughout the world. There's rumors of like fire is bursting up from the earth all around the continent. Nobody knows what's going on. There's rumors of like, is Eisenmar going to war with Salt Bowl? There's rumors that like Seattle has been under attack by the ocean itself, and then pirates have rained down from the sky, and ships have been crashing, and like there's just all sorts of crazy news going on. And some of that crazy news is like there was a cult of Kuatoa that was abducting children in Seattle. And you find a way to not just fight this fear and this bias, but to almost capitalize on it, to turn it on its head and be like, no, you're misunderstanding. This is all kind of a mistake. There were heroes in Seattle who made everything right with the Kuatoa, and you begin to kind of not only share the word of Nomad, but what Nomad did in that city, how he made things right, how he rescued the people who were taken by the Kuatoa, how he created reform, and you begin to, once more, spread the religion of Nomad throughout the largest city of Balmoral.
It's weird because it's more like campaigning
Kind
President,
of, yeah.
the actual god.
And it is oddly intertwined, where by spreading the religion, you're also kind of vouching for the party and vice versa, because they've been so closely intertwined for so many months.
You also have tons of pamphlets on all this information
Yeah.
if you want to hand those out too.
For sure.
Or sorry, newsletters.
But yeah, you do this for about the course of a week. You are one of hundreds or even thousands of people trying to sell some sort of a message in the great city of Balmoral. But you make decent work. You stand on the street corners, you get some crowds that are genuinely interested. In many ways, you hook them with news firsthand from Seattle, and then you follow up with news about the religion and about Nomad and stuff like that. So that's what you're doing for the first week or so. Let's jump to Ace. Ace, you are studying this thing to learn about weaknesses. Give me, investigation or nature, or I guess Arcana, but you might get weaker results on Arcana.
You know I want to investigate it. And then, you think my dad will join me just for like a bonding experience?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if he like is squeamish or not.
He's not squeamish, but he is definitely out of his element working with biological things.
34.
But he is happy to at least come along for the awkward bonding experience of it.
And probably Uno too, since she might have, knowledge on undead things.
Absolutely. So with an at 20 for 34, that is your second very important at 20. You learn several things about this particular body. First, it has several eyes, and those eyes harness great magical power. You suspect that damaging the eyes would limit its powers. Second, it is partly magically corporeal, kind of like the other weave-based monsters that you've seen and fought. In other words, you suspect that it is going to be weak to force damage, it's going to be resistant to most other types of magic, and that using effects like Counterspell or Dispel Magic or Anti-Magic Field will harm it. They will hurt the body. It is partly made of magic.
Do I feel like Dragon Blood armament effect would be extra effective against this? Incorporeal undead, such as ghosts?
Probably not, because you learn that this is likely not going to be undead so much as a soul transfer. It's going to be like what you did with Flick. This is not a reanimated corpse. It is closer to a flesh column. It is a body that has been special built to put a soul into. And as such, it is not undead. It is closer to a construct, although you
like
imagine...
a homunculus?
Kind of like a homunculus, yeah, exactly. With that said, definitely some draconic elements here, because it seems it was made from mostly dragon flesh. You suspect that most things that work on constructs and most things that work on dragon will work on this body when you eventually find it. Other things. It's going to be resilient to most non-magical weapons, probably straight up immune to non-magical slashing, piercing, bludgeoning. Definitely going to have a breath weapon of some sort. Definitely going to be able to
Can
fly.
I tell what type it is based on like the organs it has in its throat?
Not 20 for 34. Do you have any sort of like alchemy or nature or anything like that?
I have tinker's tools.
With a 34, you can definitely tell that there is this pungent chemical in a couple of its like throat glands. It's hard to tell. Well, I mean, with an at 20 for 34, you mix these chemicals together and you see that they kind of burst into this blue flame for a moment. You're not really able to deduce a whole lot more beyond that, but you're at least able to reproduce what you suspect will happen with a breath, and it comes out as this like super hot blue flame.
Gotcha. I just also realized I forgot that Flurgle has the other eye patch monocle. So like as
You
I'm
can
working
totally
on
do
this dragon, I can just see him in town.
Yeah, probably a
It
little
must be
distracting, but you know.
I'm probably used to it with Nomad, I guess. But
Yeah, if nothing else, you can take it off temporarily or unattune
Yeah.
from it. But yeah, I'll probably shoot you like a couple more detailed little things from the stat block at some point. But those are the big points that you get from this research.
yeah, I think there's one other thing I wanted to do, but I have to find it real quick. So like my Skywrite thing, it just makes people see prophetic things pretty much in dreams and
Yeah,
whatnot.
pretty much. They see a message that they interpret as some sort of an omen.
And it's like limited to like a sentence or two. Okay, I'm probably going to do one either above Cetal or Willingquet, depending on what the party thinks is best, to kind of just spread information that, you know, Salt Bowl and Stormcellar have been freed from the tyranny of Ozzy, what's his face, and that the heroes are going to go defeat him, something like that. I'll like work out the
For sure.
exact things of it, unless people want to keep that stuff secret. But I figured it might be a good idea to like spread that information around to the Stormcellar, and Salt Bowl can start getting proper trade again.
Understood. And you weren't here for it last week, but you would be aware that having heard that Stormcellar is back under the Kobold's control, Belmoral, the king of Willingquet himself, well, his men, his council, have reached out to try to figure out what's going on up north. There have been information is starting to spread, I guess is the best way to put it. The secrets that have been brewing are starting to spill back into the mainland. And there are a lot of questions, which you can now see through Flurgle's eyes, are like starting to cause commotion. People, like, you can't hide tiny little portals opening up all over the world. You can't hide little rings coming out of the stars at night when a new goddess ends. There's been a lot of strange stuff happening, and people have a lot of questions, and the bigger governments are trying to get to the bottom of it. So this is a prime time to strike with magical omens. Yeah, magical omens that tell the truth. Especially because a lot of people will probably see it and then try to verify it.
I get 2 of those, since I get like 1 in a week. So I don't know if we'd be above Cetal for 1, and then if we have a long rest between Cetal and Willingquet.
Yeah, so you guys are basically going to hit your long rest right as you hit. The fuck is that city name? But yes, you'll get one. So you could do one in Cetal, and then you could do another one in Gold Meadow as you're passing by Gold Meadow.
Where's on?
Gold Meadow is
Enhance.
not marked on this map.
Oh.
It's this little city right here.
Okay, then I'll probably just do them in those 2 locations.
Cool.
And I'll officially write up what they say. But it's going to be something along those lines of just like spreading out information about how a group of heroes or whatever has set free Salt Bowl and Stormcellar. The governments have reformed, and should I mention the undead dragon? Should I not? I mean, is there any reason not to mention it?
Just to avoid panic, but
it also could help people, like, I don't know, prepare in case we fail, or maybe even give us support.
I mean, if we fail, the world's fucked anyway, so let's let them live out their last days in blissful ignorance.
Fine. I'll leave it out for now.
All right.
Goes against my code as a journalist.
We'll have to check with Nordo and Moat when they are here if they do anything on the trip over. Do Vasu or Gale do anything on the 10-day journey down to Bramrose, or do you just kind of
Yes.
chill? Okay, what you do?
I do a very simple thing. I grab some leather and a couple of rivets, and I just make essentially just a really long bandolier.
Okay.
With a couple of little leather straps for putting some spell scrolls into.
Okay, love it.
And then I put into a bag of holding and prepare it.
Delightful. Excellent. Yeah, you get yourself a bandolier of spell scrolls that is tucked into a bag of holding. and I can't wait to see how that fucks me.
Yeah.
I'm delighted.
It's just sized for spell scrolls.
Size for spell scrolls. Okay, it's not currently filled with any spell scrolls.
No.
Cool. I dig it.
Filled with other stuff.
Filled with other stuff. All right, noted. If it becomes pertinent for me to know what other stuff is in there, let me know. But I trust you. All right then. Did Vasu have anything on the travel over? Or are you just kind of chilling and riding?
I don't know, man.
That's totally fine.
I'm good.
Yeah. After about 10 days, so a week goes by, a long rest happens. Flurgle, how do you rejoin with the party?
We have 10 days.
Yeah.
I think that's another week still before the next long rest.
So you teleported over on Sunday. 7 days have now passed, and another long rest has happened. The rug has recharged, and you know that your party is about here.
Yeah, I can write. We also have Rory's. We can just communicate completely. So we have open communication.
Yeah, I can just literally hold the letter up in front of the eye.
We also have Rory's telepathic bond, don't we?
I don't know if you can
Well, you
reestablish
have
that at distance.
you have to be around each
Yeah.
other.
Okay, but yeah, we can just write notes to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, you also have like sending stones in the card and ways to communicate.
No, can't do that. Notes only.
So Flurgle, you're in Balmoral. The party is passing over Gold Meadow, and the party knows they have about 3 days left to get to Bromrose. You just had a long rest, and the rug is recharged. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna spend some more downtime until they get to Bromrose, and then teleport back.
All right, excellent. 3 more days of spreading the good news.
So I did the pitch. I wanted to sink right in, get the hooks deep in.
Excellent.
I have 1,000 gold. Can I use any of it to help?
Possibly. You tell me. How
You could just bribe people.
the world is
Well,
your
I
oyster.
don't
How
think-
would you like to invest?
I don't think Flurgle knows how to bribe people. So what he's going to do is like, what do you do to make people like a thing you're trying to sell? I don't know. People pay people.
You could also
Why-
just you could I don't know, buy a whole bunch of food and start handing it out to some of the homeless people.
That was what his next idea was. Is what I was getting to. Thanks.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, he's like, people pay people. What do people want? And he's like, there's probably a lot of homeless here. And people with no direction. And he kind of feels for them because his entire like culture is about we kind of want direction. We need someone to kind of show us that direction and to follow them. And he's like, he goes to like commission an artist
All right.
for a painting, I guess. And he describes it with by making a statue of one thing he remembers very clearly about Nomad. The thing that stuck to him and that made him kind of realize this is what I want in my life is when the party went to Seattle and were justifiably killing everyone there because they were an evil cult. That Nomad, seeing that this people who just wanted someone to kind of direct them in a way that wasn't harmful and to be given a chance to be better than who they are, actively got down and begged for his life. He doesn't think there will be any other god who would do that for someone like him.
All right. Yeah, it's easy enough to find an artist. It's mostly a question of how much you are willing to pay.
I have 1,000 gold.
You're dropping all 1,000 gold on a painting.
I don't know how much.
You certainly can.
Let's Jesus
How much
Christ
would a
this.
painting be?
So, because it is an art item and a luxury item, It really is one of those things where you can spend as much as you want, and the more you spend on it, you'll get more quality up to a certain point, and after a while, what you're paying for is prestige. It will become an art piece from a very famous and renowned painter. It'll probably be on display for a bit. I'll be right back. Just a second. Sorry.
Sure. The idea is maybe to make it a centerpiece of a small shrine.
Okay, I'm back. So yeah, it's kind of up to you. I would say that if all you're looking to do is get an illustration made, probably 20 gold, 30 gold would be enough to start it.
So what if I make a mural in the wall and have it a small shrine, just start to be built, not finished.
Sure. Yeah. Let me do some
Kind of.
math here.
With that money, you could probably also just buy a building and make it into a shrine, or just buy land and have a shrine built.
Well, I guess how much is land?
Yeah. So
How much is a building?
for 1,000 gold, it would be kind of on the outskirts of town. You're not going to get anything in the middle of town square or whatever, but it would be within the walls of the city, near the outskirts, probably near one of the gates, at kind of like a trade hub next to some inns. There would be a little park, and near that park there would be a little kind of outdoor pagoda shrine. The size of a small playground with a little shrine and a wall that you could potentially have a mural painted on.
Yeah. I guess with 1,000, let's see my inventory here. 1,125 gold. I just convert that small part into this space that's not just, hey, this is who this is. It's like how those churches have, oh, here's the entire crucifixion of Christ from beginning to end on their stained glass from wall to wall. It's just
For sure.
the one thing where it's him begging for his life,
Yeah,
for someone
absolutely.
else's life, right?
You can get
And
this very
small
large
shrine?
kind of panoramic collage painted on the wall of this shrine.
It's this tiny shrine, and because Nomad is a very pragmatic person who wants use to come from things, aside from just, hey, this is someone, he wants to see if this can be converted into oh, hey, a soup kitchen. Or hey, I don't know, some sort of service that aids people.
Almost certainly with more time and money. You would need to get a building made. The building would have to be able to serve as a kitchen. But you're in the right location for it. It is a commercial district. You could probably even get one of the buildings across the street in one of the rows of townhouses next to a tavern or something like that.
Yeah, I pay for it at least and have it all start planned out.
For sure. And that will be an ongoing thing. Obviously, this is not going to go up overnight, but you're able to start working with people to get it underway.
Just because Ace can kind of watch this, does he get a figure for how much this also is going to cost? I'm assuming that getting all of this done is going to be.
The land is going to be about 800. Getting an extra building made, let me check.
$800 for land?
Yeah, you're in the biggest
Yeah,
city on the continent currently.
I can't believe I'm a landowner now.
800 will give you a plot. It'll give you a plot about the size of a small playground, including an area where a building can be built. For a very simple single room cabin that could serve as a kitchen, and having people come up to the cabin, get their food, and eat outside. It'd be about 200 gold. And then for another 100 gold, you could have a really nice mural done, not by a high profile artist or anything, but it'll be very high quality.
Yeah.
So it'd be 1,100 total for all that.
Leaving me with 125.
Yep. And that is kind of just to get things up and running. There will be ongoing costs for food and stuff, but we can deal with that later.
Ace writes a note that says, you can put all your money and I'll give you some when you get back.
He just does the okay sign.
All right. While you were setting all that over the course of those 3 days?
Sorry, it leaves me with 225. Math.
The party continues to sail south until they reach the southern tip of Willingquet. They begin to pass by the port city of Brookport. And then they make another leap across the sea towards Bromrose. The water gets warmer and greener. The wind begins to kind of get a little hotter. And there is occasionally just like a little tropical wind that carries a brief bit of rain through and then it passes by just as quickly as it came. The trees change from autumnal oaks to palm trees and even occasional cacti, lots of shrubs and ferns, tropical plants. And eventually off in the distance to the south, you see the markings of land, most prominent of which is a single tall mountain that juts up from the sea. And at the top of that mountain, sitting like spires, is the Citadel of Adra.
Boo!
Wait, boo!
I'm just, well, she's probably fine, I guess.
She's a nice
Yeah.
person.
I just
Lucia-
have
Your
a lot
Lucia
of,
showing.
I just have a lot of residual dislike. Well, yeah.
Fuck the gods, though.
Fuck 'em.
My name's Adra. I can do whatever I want.
This is probably where we should wrap up, just because we do need Moat for Moat's arc.
Yeah.
It is a
Yeah,
thing
true.
that is true.
I
No,
do
we
rejoin.
don't.
I do rejoin everyone. At this
Also,
point
I'm
because-
going to give you some money. It's for the Nomad Fund.
Oh, that's very kind of you.
Here's 6,000 gold for the Nomad Fund and
Holy
1,000
shit, that's a
gold
lot.
for just you.
Real quick, order of operations.
That's a lot.
How do you rejoin with the party?
Oh, I just go to what's it, Belrose?
Belmorel?
No, the place they're
Oh,
headed now.
Bromrose.
Bromrose, yeah. I just used the fucking carpet. It's recharged.
Sick. Give me a d6.
Here we go. Vong. I don't know what that means.
Fucking,
I actually don't know what that means.
fucking delightful.
It's the opposite of the 6 earlier.
It sure is. It's the exact opposite. It is, in fact, a nearby location of your choice that is strongly associated with natural or environmental danger.
So on top of the mountain in the city instead of in the city. I teleport immediately into the headquarters.
You just go right into prison.
Yeah, right into prison. Hold on to that money because I can't add it yet because we haven't met yet.
Yup. I will come up with a handful of dangerous options for you
Yeah.
to choose from at the start of next session,
Yeah, that'd be fun.
and we will pick up there with Flurgle teleporting to meet the party in or at least somewhere near Bromrose.
Somewhere near Bromrose. Ace is gonna see like a volcano also. I hope there's no volcanoes in Bromrose.
I mean, at least I know exactly where you are. Kind
Sure,
of.
Kind of. It is noteworthy as you guys approach and descend either towards the towers or the city. There appears to be a festival ongoing. You guys are kind of a short way into December, but around here it is still tropical, it is still warm. You would hardly even know that wintertime is here. But you can see that there are colorful balloons, candles, lights and music, banners and parades that are going through town. And Moat would probably know what this all is, but we'll save that for next time.
Is it Christmas?
It's not Christmas. It's... I don't know if I want to spoil the surprise until Moat's here.
No,
Just
don't.
keep it safe. Keep it safe.
It's fucking Halloween.
It's a festival dedicated to Moat.
It's a festival for Moat.
Moat day.
It's Moat
It's
Day.
a festival of immortal heroes. It came out. We did it. We've reached the next arc.
We did it. Oh, also, we announced this over on Wake of the Fallen Moon, but just to do it here. We have a lot of plans this month. We're doing like a Ren Fair and a visit. Drake's going to come say hi. It's going to be real nice.
Exciting!
But the result of that is that we might have... I know we've had a lot of weeks off lately. We're trying to get through this campaign, I swear, because we're all real excited for C3. However, there might be a couple more weeks off over the course of this month because we're going to be busy with real life stuff.
Deal with it.
Deal with it. But we'll be back eventually, and we'll let you know over on Discord when we are starting back up. And specifically which weeks we're off. I'm almost certain we're off next week and the week after.
Yeah, like I fly next week, literally.
Yeah. Which kind of works out nicely
good
because
luck.
we'll be picking up with a brand new arc
Yeah.
when we get back.
Assuming, yeah. Here's hoping.
Mhm.
Best of luck.
Yeah, I am very excited and a little nervous. I'm curious to see how it goes, and I hope everything goes well.
Me too.
Me 9.
And I helped. I'm so excited. I need to do some stuff to put it in there. But I'm super excited.